Hello everyone, my name is Ray Bowman and this is my week 3 presentation for MPA 590, Organizational Theory for Public Administration. And this week we'll talk about neoclassical theories as it relates to the PrEP task force. And the focus of my presentation this week are two main themes, which are the relationship between efficiency and human relations and organizational theory in public administration. I'll explore both themes. So just as a quick overview on the efficiency side, we'll take a look at Frederick Taylor's scientific management and Max Weber's theory of bureaucracy. On the human relations side, I will highlight Mary Parker Follett's ideas about authority and Elton Mayo's Hawthorne experiments. I'll also reference two peer-reviewed articles that expand on these ideas, which include Chen Cheng's analysis of Taylor and Narendra Sethi's interpretation of Follett. And of course, with both, I'll provide task force examples. So let's start with Frederick Taylor, and Frederick Taylor's section on scientific management is in our classics book, and it can be found between pages 56 and 58. Taylor believed that there was one best way to do the job, and he sought hard to figure that out and analyze and standardize tasks to maximize productivity. And we still see this government approach today, whether it's emergency response protocols, standardized forms, or permits. All of it is designed to reduce errors and ensure consistency. So in the PrEP task force, scientific management would essentially help with tasks like FEMA reimbursement documentation, where there's step-by-step procedures to ensure speed and accuracy each and every time. However, Taylor's scientific management and the principles behind it, some can say that it's been potentially misunderstood. So Chen Cheng, who wrote in the Journal of Multidisciplinary Research, argues that Taylor's ideas were turned into rigid scientism. And in the article, he argues that maybe there's been an overemphasis on rationality. So Chung points out that Taylor actually valued harmony and cooperation, even encouraging managers to build genuine relationships with workers. This shows us that even though efficiency is powerful, it can become too mechanical if we ignore the human side. Building off of this was Max Weber and the characteristics of bureaucracy that we know him so well for are found in our classics book between pages 62 and 67. And Max Weber argued that bureaucracy was the most rational way to organize large groups. Some of these characteristics include hierarchy in their structure, this emphasis on division of labor, formal rules, and the emphasis on expertise. So the strength of bureaucracy is that it's predictable and typically it is seen as fair. For example, when you apply for maybe a driver's license, you expect the same process as the next person applying for a driver's license. Bureaucracy makes that possible because of the structure, because of the formal rules, because of the division of labor. So in the PrEP task force, Weber's model would provide structure during an emergency. So for example, in EOC operations, there would be a clear chain of command. Next up is human relations. So we're shifting gears and taking a look at human relations as it relates to efficiency. And one of the main proponents in classical theories or neoclassical theories is Mary Parker Follett. She offered a different perspective in her essay, The Giving of Orders, which can be found in our classics book between pages 74 to 78. She argued that authority should come from the task itself and not just from the person giving the commands. The workers really have authority, and giving your workers meaningful contribution or meaningful ways to contribute in the work that they do improved essentially the work product. She also argued in this article that the scientific management had a tendency to depersonalize orders and that it was important to repersonalize it. We all know her so well for power with versus power over, and one of the related peer-reviewed journal articles on this is by Narendra Sethi. And in her writing in Academy of Management Journal, she expands on Mary Parker Follett's ideals by introducing concepts like cumulative authority or cross-functioning authority, where authority is not isolated, but it is woven throughout the organization instead of concentrated at the top. So in the prep task force, this might mean, IT takes the lead during a cyber incident, while fire and public works might take the lead in a wildfire. So authority shifts depending on the task at hand, and it doesn't live with one specific person or one specific department all the time. To add to the human relations factor is Elton Mayo. He added kind of a human centered perspective with the Hawthorne experiments. His research essentially showed that productivity didn't improve from physical changes or from a formula, but instead by workers being noticed, being seen, feeling valued, and feeling as if they're working as part of the team. So the Hawthorne effect revealed that motivation can matter just as much as a formulaic working environment. So for prep, this can mean remembering that disaster response isn't just about checklists, but it also ensures that staff feel supported, staff feel valued, and staff feel seen. And this could, maybe manifest itself with shift rotations or recognizing their contributions or giving attention to morale during stressful events or disasters. This slide shows a list of references for this week's presentation. And in closing, I'd like to emphasize that Taylor and Weber reminded us why efficiency and structure mattered. It gives our government and our governmental organizations predictability, fairness, and accountability. But Follett and Mayo also remind us that organizations are made up of people, and authority can be shared across various departments, across various roles, and motivation is not just a scientific formula that can be implemented. Public administration should be a blend and combination between efficiency and human relations, and the task force, the hypothetical prep task force, will integrate this in its formation. With that, I'd like to thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing your presentations. Have a great day.